This is Mick. I am creating this video to help with my resume for applying for jobs, and I wanted to showcase my test task app today so that people can see what I've created and hopefully make it easier for me to get future employment. So as you can see, test task is right in the center of my screen. Again, this is an app I created, as obvious by the fact that there is literally no design other than the Android symbol. So you click it, and what do we see here? So we have a few different queues as displayed. We have a priority queue, a today queue, and a standard queue. These are all things that I have put down in a list. And so let me just kind of give you an understanding of how this works. What this tool is attempting to provide is a means to prioritize your thoughts throughout the day, your goals, as far spanning as they need to be. So it's a very simple task app at its base level. You click the plus button, enter a task. This is a task, and there's a bunch of other options available. Maybe the UI could use some work, but this is kind of how it is. So you enter your task without doing anything. Let's say all I care about is just making sure I remember to do this task A. We'll just add task A. So all good, confirm, great. So you can see this is a task A, got added to the today queue. It's something that I created today, and so it needs to be done today. Eventually I go and do task A, I would click it and complete the task. Easy enough, very straightforward, very simple, no frills. But as you can see, there's other stuff, and these are things that I obviously didn't create today because I obviously just opened this. So what are they? Well, we can start with this, determine if we need a purification meeting task. I can hard click it to edit the task. And what we'll see is some of the details that I've created associated with this particular task. And so what this task does is it repeats every week on Tuesday and the task is important from 1 to 3 p.m. So obviously it's only 11:14 right now. So it's not super important. But it is something that we want to do today. Now, I will admit this was back when I was doing my last job, and it was useful then because we had to have purification meetings to purify the data. So this task really isn't necessary anymore, but it's a great example of what this particular task system does. Instead of having to create this task system as like a calendar event or something to reoccur every Tuesday, which let me tell you this, I guess that's the main competitor for this product is a calendar system. But I think it offers a lot of, I think it offers features that are more user-friendly than a calendar system. So again, all I did to create this, we'll go back really quick. All I did to create this was we'll create a reoccurring task. And then you have a few different options, but basically what I did is I said, okay, I want to repeat every week. And there's a bunch of different repeating options, month, year. So what could you do with years? You could do birthdays, which is what I've configured to do it, because it's nice to be able to remember your family's birthdays, right? Months, I don't know. Guys, we don't have a lot. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what you could use this for. Surely there's something that a month could be used for. Some reoccurring event. Maybe you call your family once a month and you like to set it on a specific day. I don't know. You could also do it reoccurring daily. It's up to you. We could do a week, you select the days of the week that you want a particular thing to reoccur. So what this will do is every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it will recreate that task for you to say you need to do it again. But on Saturday and Sunday, it won't do that. You can also set a from time and a to time. That will give it its priority session. So it'll reoccur on Monday, but at 11, well, let's even try this. 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock p.m. it will be a priority task. So again, today is Tuesday. So if we confirm this, you can see it has created this task and made it a priority because we are within the window of that task being a priority. And again, that's the main focus of this thing is, yes, these are important today. Some things are important today. Some things you just want to remember to do. That's the standard list. But some things are priorities based off of whatever the heck is happening around you, whatever your time is. And that's what's important to be able to do. And you might have multiple things that are priorities at a certain time. You might, and that's the difference between a meeting. You can only be at one place at a certain time, but you could have 12 things you want to do in an hour, So that's why a calendar app doesn't work. What are you going to do? Have like 12 different calendar events that go 5 minutes at a time? Why bother? Why waste your time with that? My thing says all 12 of these are priority. Work all 12 now. That's the whole point of it. So again, I could close this, complete it, and tomorrow, at the next time I generate it, it will create another thing, and it will prioritize it around 10 to 12 o'clock as we had set up. So, again, this determine if we need purification meeting. This one can just go away. So I'm just going to go to view my tasks, determine if we need a purification meeting, hard click it, delete. Now it's gone forever. It won't come up again. And again, it doesn't matter to me because I don't need it to. These are, again, we have the concept of sessions, right? It's sometimes, if you were a power user of this app, you don't necessarily want to be forced to put in the exact same time frames or the exact same repetition details every single time, right? So what I have is a session named Daily General. And if I go to my sessions, you can see what Daily General is. We'll click this. I don't want to delete it. We'll just click it so we can edit it. And what is it? So this particular Daily General thing, it just has a time. This is not necessarily a feature. It just from 6:59 to 6:59, it's a priority. It's because I didn't assign a time, so it just assigns whatever the time was at the time where I created it. It also shows what tasks are associated with this particular session. So if I want something to reoccur daily, and again, this one doesn't really have a priority session except at the exact time of 6:59. This is something that I know could be improved, but it's one of those little features that it's not worth my time right now to invest in this. It repeats every single day. So if I wanted to create another task that I wanted to repeat every day, what I could do is I could do repeat every day as well. And that's one way to do it, right? Or I could just select Daily General and I can make it and it will just repeat every day for me. Now this is, a simple case, but if I had a specific time that I wanted, for instance, you want to do something every day before you go to work, and that is from, 6 a.m. to, let's say, 7:30 a.m., right? You could hard code that time over and over again whenever you want to add a new task, but why waste your time with that? Why not just assign it to the session that's already designated for that time, and then every day it will just work off of that session. Now, that brings me to this next concept of one-off sessions. So I want to do something tomorrow at 6 to 7:30 in the morning, but I don't want to do it every single day. This is just something that I think, oh, hey, I'm at work, I'm at work today, and I say, oh, shoots, tomorrow before I go to work, I need to remember to do this thing. So what I can assign it to do is assign it to the, weekday morning, Monday morning, or whatever session I've created to handle that circumstance. And I could say one off. And what that will do is the next time that session occurs, it will create the task, but it will not reoccur the task, which means that it will create it and it will sit there for me to do that one time. And then once I complete it, it's done. It won't come back ever again. But it knows the exact time that it's a priority, which is the important thing. But anyways, once you confirm it, it then just gets put into a priority queue, And what will happen is it will get assigned to the session daily tomorrow, but since it's the first time generating, it seems to be putting it outside of it. Again, another feature that can definitely be improved, but it works really well right now, and so I choose not to. In fact, now that I think about it, I think I assigned it as a one-off task, and so as a result, that's why it's not showing up in the session daily. It's just generated as part of something to do today. So we'll complete that. I completed this yesterday, great. Completed that yesterday, great. A few other things. So I guess the last concept, we have two more concepts, but I think you're getting the main gist of it. We have concepts of events. And so what an event is something that doesn't necessarily reoccur on any particular time frame, but contains reoccurring tasks. So for instance, traveling on a plane. If I click this, I don't want to activate it. Let's just go into it. So when you travel, there are things that you want to make sure you don't forget, right? You have toothpaste, toothbrush, headphones, chargers, deodorant, sunscreen, yada, 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 all down the list. If you forget these things, it's terrible. You have to buy them in the new place. Not what you want to do, right? So what this thing does is when it's time for you to do these things, you just need to activate the task. So I will cancel here and I will activate the task. It sets it to active and it creates a section on the phone that contains all of these things. And so what you're now, you kind of have like a visual representation. Okay, I'm getting ready to pack, so I need to put all of these things into my bag. It's great use for that, and when I am done with it, I can either complete them all or I could just set it back to inactive and it goes away. I have a few other things, I guess, for that. Updates to test tasks. Those are things I need to do for this thing. Packing for the gym. What do I need to remember when I go to the gym in the morning? Some of these things are unnecessary, but the travel one for sure is a great help to me whenever I go anywhere. And then finally, I have groups. So again, I have a birthday group. I have a holiday group. These are things that if I had to improve this product anymore, I might make just standard groups. But you can see that I have everybody's group here, everybody's birthday here. I obviously need to fill it out more. My birthday is configured in it. And what it does is it allows yourself to have a quick glance of all the tasks that are associated with a specific group. That's pretty much it. So when you're creating your task, you have the option of adding it to a group. And it just, again, it helps for grouping individual tasks together so that, eventually later on this product could be used to, tie it to Amazon or something like that. It's that one's a feature that I added in recently. I think it's useful. It just hasn't reached its true potential yet. But there's settings associated with this, all kinds of stuff. Used for debugging purposes, because when you're dealing with time, as you guys may know, if you've ever built an app that deals with time, things get a little wonky. Leap years, for instance, when I'm working on years, this task does create year reminders. So when I'm working on a year span task, it's very difficult without being able to say, okay, this is the exact date and time that we're talking about. So I built something for that. And I think that's pretty much it. This I believe this to be the best task app on the market. That's not on the market because I haven't put it up there. I'd like to, but it's it's one of those things. I need to iron out a few more bugs, features before I did it with that. I'm not at that point yet where I feel like this is truly worth it, even if it's for free. I love my product. It works great for me, and one of these days, I'm sure it will make it on the market. But Anyways, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Like, comment, and subscribe, as they say. And I appreciate you guys taking the time to be here with me. All right, bye.